Our motto is building champs in the ring and out of the ring.
New at 11, dozens of indie teens are on their way to learning a new sport, but the benefits go far beyond the gym.
Yeah, back to the community where you live in a very, very violent community, very aggressive community, and people are always trying to fight you. So yeah, that's what you mean by the benefits go far outside of the gym? Or you gonna tell us some other, feel-good reason?
Thank you so much and good evening for joining us this evening. I'm Amber Grigley. Now, according to data from the National Survey of Children's Health, nearly half of all American children have experienced at least one type of childhood trauma. A growing Indianapolis program is hoping to reach young people to provide an outlet and support. WRTV's Adam Shooms introduces us to Champ Camp.
At Triumph Boxing Gym and Martial Arts in Indianapolis.
We're here for everyone, making sure that we can get on that path and journey to healing from our trauma.
Champions are being built every weekend through a program called Champ Camp.
So I would describe it as also a place where they're safe away from everything that's happening outside.
For 3 hours every Saturday, teens from all over Indianapolis get to put everything that is going on in their personal life behind them and learn how to box.
All the struggles throughout the week, I can come here and just kind of let them out.
Nicholas Jones is a senior at Lawrence North. He's been boxing with Champ Camp since it opened back in September.
Just situations I needed to get myself away from. Boxing teaches you how to, kind of keep your cool. But then if something does arise, you know how to handle it.
You talking about those pesky cops, man? Race-based interactions with cops. Is that what he's talking about? Huh? Or you talking about a glacier glider vigilante pops up and, tries to take you out? What you talking about, bro?
Just situations I needed to get myself away from. Boxing teaches you how to, kind of keep your cool. But then if something does arise, you know how to handle it.
Champ Camp provides teens like Jones a chance to learn how to defend themselves, but also mentorship, something that Jones is thankful for.
Kind of calms you down. You're not thinking about too much except, just saying those affirmations.
Champ Camp is a team effort. The program gets help from volunteers with We Bring Hope Network and the Exit Program, two Indianapolis nonprofits that bring teens who have faced adversity together so they can box and grow together.
There's so many kids out there that are looking to have that opportunity to be able to be a part of something bigger than them.
Jones and all the teens who step into the ring know they are part of something bigger than themselves.
Trust yourself, no matter what.
Working for you, Adam Shooms, WRTV.
Thanks, Adam, for that inspirational story. Champ Camp runs every Saturday from 3 to 6. Now, you can learn more by visiting WeBringHopeNetwork.org.
When we first met Tymisha Robinson a year ago, she was inconsolable. Her son, Jamarid, killed near D.C.'s Johnson Middle School.
Why you had to kill him like that? That's crazy.
Jamarid created a fashion startup. He wanted to be a designer and made his clothes after virtual learning. Tymisha misses seeing his vision grow and his smile.
I feel horrible. I'm not the same. I'm not the same at all.
Tonight, MPD confirms its investigation into the 15-year-old's death is still active, not a cold case. He was shot multiple times in Southeast, the crime scene here on 12th Place.
I remember that day like it was yesterday. He just left out the house. He wasn't even outside he was only outside for a good 7 minutes.
Part of the reason we Zoomed today is because Tymisha doesn't feel safe in her own neighborhood.
So she doesn't feel safe in her own neighborhood, and she's trying to find a new home with her kids, for her 3 kids. Okay. Well, where's all the wokety wokesters, man? We know D.C. full. Everybody talking that wokety woke stuff. Everybody want to march and protest. Who gonna help this woman get out of the community where the dude slayed her son and just walking around like nothing happened? Her son, who was going places, had his own fashion line. And, in D.C., a lot of dudes do that. They're very profitable. Guys will wear the local brands. So, D.C. is a place where people wear the local brands. If you have a, you got Eat, you got All Days, you got Madness, all throughout the years. A lot of different, DC's known for that. A lot of different labels came up out of DC. And dudes will wear that stuff. So he was on the right path of whatever else he was into, I don't know. And I'm sure he wasn't, just some innocent angel or something, but he was doing something that was going to, had a good chance of changing his life. Where's all the wokely wokesters at, man? Where they at? Help this woman get out of this community. Where's everybody at? And I'm sure this woman could reach, I'm sure what she probably needs, in my estimation, is people to guide her to the right programs, because they have programs for all this stuff. So there's so many programs in DC, so much resources and funding that, she probably hasn't been made aware or looked in the right direction. She don't need somebody to give her some money. She needs somebody to say, have you heard of this program? Go down to this program. Go down to this street. They got the program right there. It's on the office of the third floor. Make a left. Go there and fill out the paperwork and sign up, and they'll help you. Because it's tons of programs in D.C. But I do applaud this woman. She lost one kid, and she's trying to get out before she loses another one. I applaud her for that.
Part of the reason we Zoomed today is because Tamisha doesn't feel safe in her own neighborhood. She's trying to find a new home with her 3 kids.
Tell me what your family's like now.
Family is torn apart. Like, it's no family.
She's pleading with anybody who knows something to call police. And as for what she would say to her 15-year-old's killer...
For the person that did it, God bless him. That's all I can say.
What?
For the person that did it, God bless him. That's all I can say.
Mike Valerio, WUSA 9.
Man accused of shooting and injuring 5 people outside of a high school basketball game 1 week ago tonight, now facing
5 girls. The man accused of injuring 4 teen girls, and 1 20-year-old woman. There, I fixed it.
Accused of shooting and injuring 5 people outside of a high school basketball game 1 week ago tonight, now facing decades in prison.
At the same time, MPS is bulking up security measures outside the school to ensure families are safe. As CBS 58's Adam Reif breaks down the case and the ongoing safety efforts.
Devon Job faces 6 felony counts for injuring 5 people in that shooting. His niece was among the victims. Meanwhile, MPS had several extra security measures in place for the JV and varsity girls basketball game at Rufus King High School. But parents we spoke with aren't sure if it'll be enough.
Let that sink in. Not the fact that, there was a girl fight and he shot into the middle of a girl fight and also shot his own niece. Not that, but that ahead of the JV girls basketball game, there were extra measures put in place to try to ensure safety and reduce the threat of violence. The JV girls basketball game. And there still ended up being 4 teens and 1 woman shot. Even with all the precautions they took ahead of it. And parents are upset. They want answers. There's no fixing this. There's no solution. The guy who did this, lock him up and don't give him any bail until his trial. Make him sit in there until his trial and lock him up. And that's about all you can do. There's no fixing this. How arrogant can you be to think you could fix this?
Devon Job faces 6 felony counts for injuring 5 people in that shooting. His niece was among the victims. Meanwhile, MPS had several extra security measures in place for the JV and varsity girls basketball game at Rufus King High School. But parents we spoke with aren't sure if it'll be enough. More police officers were on hand Tuesday night for the first of 2 basketball games, and several other security measures were also in place that MPS chose not to disclose. After the shooting and the student-led peace rally and at times contentious parent meeting that followed, MPS is assuring families they'll be safe at school. An MPS statement before the game read in part, quote, "The district is working with event staff and law enforcement to ensure a safe environment for all spectators, both inside and outside our school buildings." Rufus King parents are not sure the increased measures will prevent violence, but say at some point it comes down to personal responsibility.
Just trying to interact in a more civil way and learning how to resolve issues without it turning into violence.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. But you know that's not going to happen. She knows that.
You know, they don't know how to handle conflict. It's basically, I'm going to shoot you, kill you.
Earlier Tuesday, suspected shooter Devon Job was formally charged with 6 counts. The criminal complaint says Job's niece called him February 1st after getting in a fight outside a game. As he arrived, he grabbed a gun from his car and opened fire. Job's niece was among the 5 people injured.
That's that mentality that I try to tell y'all about. Like, you don't know what you're dealing with. That's why I do the videos on the Jemele Hills and the Pasty Libs and all the stuff they talk. They don't have any clue what you're dealing with. A little girl calls an adult male from her family. I got in a fight with some other little girls. He shows up and just starts shooting into the crowd. And even shoots her. What part of the drug trade was this? Violence fueled by? What part of poverty fueled this? How is this going to help him get a loaf of bread to feed his family? AOC?
It's basically, I'm going to shoot you, kill you.
Earlier Tuesday, suspected shooter Devon Job was formally charged with 6 counts. The criminal complaint says Job's niece called him February 1st after getting in a fight outside a game. As he arrived, he grabbed a gun from his car and opened fire. Job's niece was among the 5 people injured. All 6 of the counts he faces are felonies, punishable by a maximum of 85 years in prison with a $150,000 fine. In asking for a $50,000 bail, the assistant district attorney said Job is a danger, a flight risk, and the state is concerned about him being out in the community.
This is a very violent act. It is a strong case. It occurs near a school. There are multiple people struck. The potential penalty is very high here.
That was the assistant district attorney. Though the state did argue for a $50,000 bail, the court commissioner eventually set that amount at $25,000.
Even though the state argued for $50,000, even though state argued for $50,000 bail. This was done by a school. All the victims were teens and young women. It was reckless. He's a danger to the community. It's sending the wrong message. We're trying to curb crime now. Our city's out of control. We're becoming a new Chicago. None of that deterred the judge. None of that. $25,000 bail. He can get out of jail for $2,500. How many of you gliders are tired of hearing about how bad the Sun Man got it with the criminal justice systems against him, and and it always comes back to you and something you doing and your privilege.
In asking for a $50,000 bail, the assistant district attorney said Job is a danger, a flight risk, and the state is concerned about him being out in the community.
This is a very violent act. It is a strong case. It occurs near a school. There are multiple people struck. The potential penalty is very high here.
That was the assistant district attorney. Though the state did argue for a $50,000 bail, the court commissioner eventually set that amount at $25,000. Devon Job's preliminary hearing was set for February 16th. Outside Rufus King High School, Adam Reif, CBS 58 News.